Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jonathan with MyIncomeStream.biz. Have you ever felt like, or maybe you're currently feeling like you're just stuck in your business? Like you join something and you put your money into it, you put time into it, maybe even a lot of time into it, and you're just stuck. It's not going anywhere. Nothing's happening. The wheels are just spinning. I've been through this many, many times than I care to remember. A lot of trials, a lot of failures. Um, Mostly failures. Just being very blunt about it. And it's a frustrating experience when you go through that because probably the biggest feeling that you have is a deep feeling of loss, like you just got cheated out of a lot of time and a lot of money. Um, you feel like there were probably things withheld from you that you should have known or would have liked to have known that might have influenced your decision to even start the business or even determine if it was right for you to begin with before you wasted your time and effort and money getting started. So that feeling is all too familiar for me, and it's a very uncomfortable place for me to visit. But at the same time, when I put things into perspective, um, I realized that it wasn't a total failure because really, when it comes down to it, um, if you open up your mind and you really take the time to really think and analyze what's happening to you, um, then what you think is a failure isn't a failure. There isn't any failures at that point, just new data. So that's what I got out of all of those experiences is very valuable data. But in every one of those experiences, excuse me, in every one of those experiences, there was always something missing, something critical and something important in every single one of those businesses that I was missing that caused me to fail. And all the time I blamed my failure on myself as if it was my fault, as if I wasn't good enough for the business, as if I didn't have the skills or I didn't have the smarts to be able to be successful. And that's what separated me from the millionaires. And so you go into this feeling of despair, like, why should I even bother trying? What's the point? I'm just not cut out to be an entrepreneur. I'm just not cut out to be to own my own business. And so you really go into a negative place. And some people, once they go into that dark place, they never come out of it. And they pretty much end up working a 9 to 5 the rest of their lives and doing what everybody else does. So that being said, um, I want to kind of talk about what's beyond that, what's on the other side of that that you may not see at this point. Um, Most of the time, you aren't the reason why you failed. You aren't the cause of the failure. It isn't because you aren't smart. It isn't because you don't have all the skills that you need. Um, Especially if you've put time into the business and you still failed. It's really hard to argue that if you spent time in the business doing what the business told you to do and you still failed, it's probably not your fault. It's probably the business that's failed. Someone else that went into the business probably had all of the pieces, all of the secrets that the business did not bother to tell you that you needed to succeed. Somebody else that already has those tools, already has those resources, and already knows what to do with them and brings that to the business. They have everything outside of the business they need to succeed, and they bring that into the business. Well, there's the difference right there. So, um, anyway, if you're stuck in that rut, don't beat yourself up. It's really all about finding the right opportunity and having looking back on that in retrospect. For me, the lessons I've learned, if I had to do it all over again and decide what I was going to look for in a business, I would have looked for a business specifically that had multiple income streams, all within the same business. In other words, it just isn't one way to make money. That's super important. Several different income streams coming in all at the same time. At least one of them should be a residual income stream. The other thing, I would have looked for specifically, and this is key, and that is traffic. If you don't have traffic coming to the business, you don't have a business or won't have a business for very long. You will fail. It's that simple. You have to have traffic coming to the business. So any business I look for and look at has to have some sort of a resource built into the business system. It has to have a built-in strategy that's already built in for bringing traffic to the business. It shouldn't be one of those things where they expect you to figure that on your own, or maybe they just list one resource and then send you on your way and good luck and that's it. No, I would expect the business to include the resource along with the training on how to use it. That's key and that's important. The second thing, this is also just as important. I'll probably be doing another video on why the second thing is probably more important than sales and why sales sometimes tend to be a bit overrated. That's a separate training. I won't go into that in detail, but I will talk about leads. Leads is your bread and butter for your business. If you joined a business and it failed, and that was your only income, your only source of income, and it failed, and you had absolutely no leads, you're out everything. You're in a world of hurt. But if the business failed and you had a lead generation system built into that, your leads were growing, and then the business shut down, and you still had those leads that you pulled out of the business, and you were keeping those leads and records of those leads. You might be out that source of income for now, but you plug those leads into a different revenue stream or different income stream, and you're back up and running again. You have leads that you can work off, which is pay traffic that you don't have to start out buying when you have to start all over again. That's a huge gold mine. That's just one benefit of leads right there. I haven't even gone into everything. So that's one thing that is a must. There has to be a way to be able to automate the lead process. That means bringing in leads. That means managing those leads. That also means being able to communicate with those leads via email. That entire process needs to be automated. So that's something that I also expect to see in any kind of a business I join. There also must be a very clear-cut strategy and a step-by-step process on how to do everything within that business. In other words, it should be one of those things where if you follow the steps, if you follow the training, and this training should be so simple, you just follow it step by step, do exactly what it tells you to do. And if you do that, you are up and running and you're on a path to success. It should be that simple. Those are the things I look for. Those are just highlights of some of the things I wish I would have known a long time ago. If you want to see a really good example of what that looks like, I do have an example of that. You can go into the description down below. There's a link there. Click on the link. See for yourself. You can kind of see a little bit of what I'm talking about and what I mean. Otherwise, the only thing I ask of you is down in the bottom right-hand corner, please hit the subscribe button. And also please share this video with anybody you think might be able to benefit from this or could use this information. So other than that, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or evening, depending on where you are. Thank you.